Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Rando Geek. So we have a couple of updates regarding T-Mobile. This article is coming from Fierce Network. You can find it down for you in the description down below. All right, so the first important thing here is the earnings. All right, so T-Mobile says it beats earnings per share, which is the EPS, by 12.61%, which is $2.50 per share quarterly, handily beating analyst expectations, which they thought would be $2.29 for the quarter. So the net income for the fourth quarter of 2024 increased 48% year over year to $2.98 billion, and increased 36% year over year to $11.3 billion. For the full year 2024, revenue was $21.87 billion for the fourth quarter. They're saying T-Mobile added 903,000 new postpaid monthly contract customers for the quarter. T-Mobile added 1.93 million net customer additions for the quarter and is predicting postpaid additions of up to 6 million in 2025. As a result of this, shares went ballistic. They went climbing to 8.68% to $240.13. So whopping increase. All right, so let's just cover this real quick, and then I have a little bit more that I want to touch on, and then we'll get out of here. But with this is great news for T-Mobile. Here's why: 903,000 new postpaid monthly contract customers added. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this could be, right? Why they've been able to manage to add so many. The first one is discounts, heavily discounted, right? Service. We had Black Friday, we had New Year's, we had Christmas, we had Thanksgiving. So many reasons for T-Mobile to discount. And towards the end of the year, we know how it goes. Carriers, all companies pretty much, start heavily discounting and offer incentives for customers to sign up because they want the endly quarter to go out in a bang. They want to increase their numbers. So at the end of the year, their businesses look more profitable. So without a doubt, T-Mobile has done this. That's one way that they've been able to get new additions. Secondly, they have their home internet service, which if you sign up for their home internet, 5G home internet service, they bluntly tell you on their website that if you have a postpaid voice account, you're going to get better discounts. You're going to pay less for your home internet service. So if you're looking to sign up for T-Mobile's 5G home internet and you're paying too much for your cell phone bill with AT&T or Verizon, and the service you believe is going to be just as reliable or just as good, why wouldn't you make the change and save yourself some money on your home internet, which you're interested in getting? And you can just basically give T-Mobile what they want. They get all of you. They get you for home internet and they get you for wireless service. And you're happy because you're paying less for both. So that's another way they do it. All right. What I have to say, though, is no matter what you think of T-Mobile or how they got to these numbers, it is still an accomplishment because postpaid accounts are very hard. It's very hard to attract customers in 2025 to postpaid accounts. There are a handful of people that enjoy it, that want it, that need it, that will only take postpaid because of the priority, right? Some prefer the experience of that postpaid customer service. You get treated a little bit better than you would with prepaid. It's more of it's a classier service, if you will, right? You get your caller ID on it. You get more benefits as a postpaid customer. Prepaid is usually watered down garbage from T-Mobile. And it's not that good for AT&T and Verizon either. If you ask me, it's okay. But we all know that postpaid from the big three is where it's at. That's where you get all the incentives. That's where you get your streaming services and all the good deluxe stuff, right? Is when you're a postpaid customer. If you want those types of services, the streaming and everything else, you got to go to one of the MVNOs or one of the subsidiaries of, say, T-Mobile. You would go to Metro. You wouldn't use T-Mobile postpaid. If you wanted Verizon, you would go to Visible, or you would go to Total, and AT&T, you would go to Cricket. that is where you would get similar types of benefits while paying less, and you wouldn't have to go through, all the things that you have to go through with postpaid, like a credit check. That means there's a lot of people that were able to have good enough credit to get on a postpaid line from T-Mobile. So that also says a lot, that many customers are financially in a position to pay for T-Mobile, or at least they're presenting themselves to be. Were they using someone else's credit to activate the lines? Possibly. But either way, it still shows that customers were somehow able to get reasonable, good amount of credit to open these postpaid accounts. This is one of the reasons why prepaid and MVNOs have been so successful, is the whole credit thing. That's kind of how it started. People dancing around the issue with their credit lines, right? Not having enough credit, not wanting to have the credit inquiries on their credit report. And then there's, of course, the discounts, saving money. So that's also, all of it is important, but there's different reasons for why people do it. And sometimes it's both of those reasons, the credit and the discount. So either way, this is an accomplishment if you ask me. And you can't really deny it. I mean, if the numbers are calculated, the numbers are calculated. I don't know if they'd be exaggerated. Okay, they have to kind of report it. Could they mess with it a little bit? Maybe. But I mean, this has been a very successful quarter for them. And it seems like it just continuously is. And, there's a lot of stuff that can be said about it. But nonetheless, I mean, T-Mobile seems to be an attractive carrier for customers. Customers feel the service is good enough. They're getting good enough incentives to want to use them. And this is why they're using it. I mean, we hear it all the time. There are people that really care about the network quality and the reliability, right? T-Mobile is a very reliable network. But if I had to be honest, and I've been honest whenever I talk about T-Mobile, I will kind of give them a backhand compliment. And I will say how great they are and how good the perks are. And even though they've become more of a carrier in the way of their pricing, it's still competitive when you think about what you get as far as like perks and benefits. Are they the most reliable? Yes and no. Yes and no. 5G is heavily available in many areas, and it works very well in many areas. When it connects, it's fast and it is reliable. But here's an issue. Low band, 600 megahertz, not the most reliable when it comes to the most important parts that you need cell phone service for. When you really break it down, if you're in a building, if you're in an elevator, if you work for a hospital, if you work for a school, if you work for any kind of office building, or if you park your car in a garage, underneath the building, and while you're down there, most likely T-Mobile is not going to have either the best service or it may actually go out. How many of you can tell me that this has happened to you using T-Mobile? Either in a building, either in an elevator, either in a school, either in a hospital, or just sometimes even in a Home Depot. You will notice that certain areas of that store, T-Mobile is not great. I've seen it happen with Verizon too, to be fair. And it happens with all carriers. But when we really break down reliability, when it matters the most, when you need that call, when you have to send that text because there's something important that you need to notify someone of, you're less likely to have that reliability with T-Mobile. If T-Mobile could overcome this, which they've gotten better. Truthfully, I've seen it. Again, I can't speak for every area. I can't speak for personal experience. Your experience might be absolutely atrocious with T-Mobile. You might feel like they're just horrible garbage. You've tried, you've given them the benefit of the doubt, and it's just not worth your time. Well, then that's not the right carrier for you. And then that is what matters the most, right? If your experience with them is not good, it's not reliable, and it's just not worth your money or time, then you shouldn't be using them, because at the end of the day, you need a carrier that is right for you, that meets all your expectations or exceeds them if you can, because, you're paying for that service. And postpaid, again, is not cheap. So if T-Mobile could overcome this issue, which is a big obstacle for them, but they've been better. And that's why they're constantly seeking mergers and acquisitions so they can get on other towers and piggyback off of all these other servers to get out there in remote areas where they're not so good and offer that, offer that reliability to the customers, that peace of mind that many want. If they did that, it'd be real interesting to see how well they could do. How many people would leave Verizon or AT&T if T-Mobile was recognizably this different in the form of reliability? How many people would jump ship if they're able to achieve this kind of goal, do this type of, earn this type of new amount of postpaid customers, with not even being considered the most reliable? And many of you that love T-Mobile will probably tell you, yeah, you're right. I love them. They're good. They're fast. Promotions are good. But yeah, most likely if I had to travel somewhere remote, I'm most likely going to need to have someone else with me, AT&T or Verizon. I'm going to have another carrier just in case. Most of you are going to say that. Most of you are probably going to say Verizon's been most successful for you. I think, it could be AT&T personally. They have the best track record for reliability overall. They're not the most enduring. They're certainly not the fastest when it comes to 5G speeds and excitement. It's lags, it's disappointing, but it's functional. Works most of the time. Probably most of the time when you really need it is what I'm saying. And Verizon's there too. They're pretty much, right at the edge of the sword there, the blade. They're really on top of it now too. And T-Mobile is, a little lagging in that area, but better. So, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to throw that out there. You know how it is when you come to this channel and sometimes these videos will be short, but I just express what I need to express, and it just goes where it goes, and that's it. So we have that. Then they have the slicing leads. So, the T Priority, which is available in Los Angeles, Nashville, Florida, and North Carolina. So they're basically saying that they think, or Mike Sievert has claimed, that T-Mobile was most likely the most successful carrier in the world. I think, I don't know if I want to say they're the most successful. They might be right now. But they're certainly they're the carrier that many find themselves gravitating to. And it's not for the reliability, is what I'm saying. It's just more of like an illusion or the attraction of what T-Mobile seems to be offering you. You feel you're paying a little less, you're getting more benefits, and it's 2025. That's what most people care about. For most people, T-Mobile will work just fine. Only the people that travel remotely very frequently might find themselves not using T-Mobile as a primary day-to-day carrier. You might go with someone else, like T-Mobile, AT&T or Verizon. You just might do that just because you find that T-Mobile is not the most reliable for you. So that is my take on it. Like I said, I'll link this for you down below. I covered pretty much what I needed to cover, and I said what I really needed to say. I don't want to drag this video too long. But if you have any questions for me, let me know down below. Let me know your thoughts on this whole thing with T-Mobile. If you use T-Mobile, I am curious as to why. Like what has attracted you to T-Mobile? Why do you use it? Do you find it's more reliable? Is it the benefits? Do you find that they offer more benefits and perks for you? Are you on postpaid, prepaid, an MVNO like Metro? It's all curious stuff. So if you guys want to share that with the community down below, feel free. It's mere curiosity as to like why people use the carriers that they use. What's the real benefit behind it other than just a name that we know, that we recognize. Like, is there a real reason for you? Do you find that it's best for you, and why? It's just curious, more your curiosity for me. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.